Hey, welcome back to Manward. I'm Alex.
I'm Andy.
And this is the third video in our options series. The past two, we've gone over why we think options are an important tool that you should add to any investor's toolkit. We've talked about the different pieces of an option and all the key terms needed to understand, what you're looking at. So in today's video, we're going to go over some more key know-how, and that is how to actually select the options. We're going to go over the whole smorgasbord of options available to you and how to pick which one makes the most sense for what you're trying to do.
Yeah, so just in the last week, this, we took 3 more triple-digit options gains. So options, thank you. Options are a huge part of investing these days. Everybody talks about volatility. They talk about uncertainty in the markets. They talk about why they're not making much. Stocks were way up last year, but the average person is still making like 4 or 5%. Almost every day we get notes from subscribers, young and old, and then they say, hey, I want to make an option trade. I've seen your track record. I really want to take advantage of this. They don't know how to. So in this video, you're going to look right over my shoulder as we go into Yahoo Finance and just look at the menu of options available and what that means for an investor. So let's dig into that.
Yeah, let's break it down.
So Facebook, that's a popular stock with the kids these days. So let's just say we want to go out and we want to buy, we think Facebook's going to go up. We're bullish on Facebook. We want to buy some options on it. So we'll follow my typical rules for option investing, keep it super simple. And I'll show you exactly how to do that. So using Yahoo Finance, of course, you just go to the options tab. And this is what confuses folks. There's a lot of numbers, a lot of colors.
A lot of options.
But, I write about this often. So the first thing we have to do is kind of pick the expiration. We talked about expiration date in the last video. My rule of thumb is go 3 months out. So really that puts us into June because, the February, when we're recording this, the February options are just about expired. So we're into March. So then we have April, May, and June options. So we just click on June. We have our calls listed first, puts. We're looking for calls because we're bullish. And here's the really cool thing. This is what I write about so often. You see all these numbers, but you don't have to worry about most of those. The only thing I recommend doing is focusing on an option that's about 10% or so out of the money. So really with Facebook, anything that's $21 or less above this price, $217, is where we're looking. So you could buy the 220, 225, or the 230, and really it just depends on your risk spectrum that you're aiming for.
Sure, and we talked about in the money and out of the money in our last video. So if you need the definition again, that's where you can find that. But looking at the shading here, is that representing in and out?
Exactly. That makes it super simple. Anything that's in the blue is in the money. Anything that's out is white. So in the simplest of terms, if these options expired today, anything in the blue would have intrinsic value. You would have some value there. Anything in the white does not have intrinsic value yet. So it's based on it's much more speculative. All right, so using our rules, we want to go anywhere between the 220 and 230. We'll go with the 220. It's a little more conservative, and really that's it. We're going to go with the $220 call option.
All right, so it's super simple. So, step 1, determine if you're bullish or bearish. Step 2, figure out your time frame. And then step 3 is going to figure out how far out of the money you want to go. So let's flip it then. We've looked at calls. Let's look at some puts.
So again, we're going to look for something that's 10% or less out of the money. So that takes us into really this $205 to $215 range. We already picked our 3-month window. Again, we almost always stick to that window. So using those 2 simple rules, we just go right in here and we can go a little less conservative or a little more speculative. But in this case, we'd probably go with the $215 put.
It's like a mirror of what we just did. It's the exact opposite. Makes perfect sense. All right, so that's pretty much it for this video. We won't leave you hanging. The plan from here is we're going to actually continue our screen share, show you the process of purchasing an option, and then everything that comes after that point, everything that you need to know from there.
Super simple. We're going to follow simple rules that anybody can do. It's not complex. You don't need a big textbook. 3 steps, easy peasy.
Easy peasy. We'll see you next time. Cheers. Whenever you're ready.
All right, hope you enjoyed that video on options. As you can see, this stuff is really important to me. I think every investor needs to know how to trade options, hence why we're doing all of this. So stay tuned, hit the subscribe button, and be notified when we update the next video where we actually make an options trade and show you how to start profiting from everything we've talked about.